What is going on, YouTube? This is Acid Root. So I'm going to review the debut album by rock band Red. As far as those pairs can happen, basically this product is called End of Silence, and it came out in the late spring of 2006. This particular album came out in the late spring of 2006. So within these fairs, this is a request to me by Larry, the Batman fan, as far as this fair's going to happen. So I wanted to get to this one within these fairs. Definitely some interesting type fair to get this particular album. Definitely some interesting fair to get these albums as far as this fair's going to happen with it. Pretty much some blistering kind of new metal pitches like that. Blistering kind of new metal, alternative metal, and post-grunge, some of those type aspects within it. This is a Christian rock type album within the pitch, similar to POD. Folks like that, some of those particular type fairs, but it's a good type fair. Yeah, similar to POD and Skillet, some of those type folks within the format of it. Wanted to get to this particular aspect of the album because this particular album is just as wicked as folks like POD and some of those type folks within the pitch, but it has this particular appeal. It's really not even noticeable within the pitch of having the aspect of supposing like the composition. It's just the same sort of fair. I look within the aspect behind some of these. Now I realize within the aspect getting more in-depthy with the lyrics, I mean, the edge factor about this album is extremely high as far as this first going to happen. So it definitely has the pitch of like some red hot type aspects within the tone as far as just nailing the delivery and pitches like that. Some of these particular type fairs. Definitely pretty current. Definitely like the ferocity of this particular album as far as the aspects of it kind of particularly happens. Just the pitch as far as saying the same thing with POD. I mean the rippage when you think of like a hit album by POD like Satellite, some of those type ones, and their 1999 album, some of those type fairs definitely had the pitch behind those particular fairs. It was engaging new metal within those pitches. So it's not to say as if there would be a difference in quality, but just for the aspect as far as whether or not the composition is saying, oh, this probably seems like a namby-pamby or kind of more softcore band, it really isn't within those tones. It's the excellence of that particular fair. It's kind of disclaimers, you know, going from things just within the pitch. If you listen to like black metal, death metal, thrash metal, some of these type pitches within the format of typical kind of real ravenous kind of blistering type carnivorous type stuff. I mean, this is within that same vein within a particular pitch about it. So this has that particular aspect as far as, I mean, especially, it's definitely nails the barrel in this. But just being able to say here, so I recommend all 11 of the songs off this album. And this was a pretty promoted album with the pitch. Definitely excellent type of appeal. Being able to say that there were 7 singles off this product promoted between like the spring of 2006 to like the late fall of 2007 within those particular aspects. So some good type tones. Definitely pretty banner type albums and good type pitches within the aspects of some of these type fairs. So I look after it, just being able to say there's definitely a series of type moments on here. It has a lot of fashions to like Evanescence and Korn and Godsmack, some of those type folks within the pitch. Definitely folks like that. Just feels ripped out of like early 2000s kind of hangout bleeds pitches like that. Some of those type backyard type noises pitches like that. Stand plenty songs out this product to spark up to pitches like that. It has some similarities, a lot of good similarities to Linkin Park as well, which some excellent type pitches. Just there's a couple of songs like Gave It All Away and like there's a couple of songs out this album like Gave It All Away and Already Over that remind us something Chester Bennington would have done, ripped out of 2003, 2005, 2007, some of those type pitches within the format of it. So definitely some blistering type appeal. Has some trance type music on here, has some good trance type music on here, has some good venue marination pitches like that just in the product, like some good type fairs. So it just has the pitch, pretty social type album with the sparkiness just in the product of it. So it just has the aspect very, that's the thing about new metal as far as this first kind of went. By the time you got out to way out in 2006, like folks like Papa Roach and Trapped were kind of moving away from it more within the sense of it's just kind of the appeal. I mean, it's not as full bound within that pitch, but it definitely nails the alternative metal type vibes to just continue some of those type aspects. Just a good, pretty much like alternative and like next, not to say secondary in terms of quality, but just an alternative kind of choice to something like Linkin Park and Papa Roach and Trap, some of those type folks within the format, just within that particular type fair. Other folks like POD and Korn, some of these type folks, Godsmack, Evanescence, some of these particular aspects about it. Just a lot of these folks within that particular, just within that same fashion, fucking with these sorts of bands that were, you know, as new metal and alternative metal were pretty ferocious and dynamite throughout the whole 2000s decade. It's just another type one for that banner type appeal that just continues. Same sort of blistering aspects. I'd probably say definitely had to be pretty banner within the appeal because it did get to 7 singles within the pitch. So just talk about this album here. So Breathe Into Me is a nice one. It's like a throbbing and pounding kind of coming alive and like the night product of it as far as this fair is going to happen. It's some grand kind of flip mode fun as far as these fairs going to happen. So just kind of miss the pitch is something that just has a real kind of thrilling type aspect just within the tone of just getting towards like the hours. It's real kind of sparky within the aspect as far as the particular nailing of it. Just feels like that same sort of energy that this is a good embrace of something that you're going to want to hear when you get to like the hours of 4:45, 5:15 pitches like that as things start to get towards the figuring out as to what's going to happen for the rest of the night as far as this first going to happen. So definitely within the pitch. Even if there's not full bound kind of makeshift out this project, I do feel even if there's not full bound makeshift off this product, I do feel like there's a number of these type moments on here that just have the aspect of just really things getting engaging. It's just kind of the product of just, be presentable, be within the aspect, be like conducive and things like that, and just those sorts of fairs getting through the day shift as far as those particular fairs we kind of have with it. Just, be steadfast and get it done. But then the product, when it is, 5:45, 6:15 pitches like that, just really has the alive type factor where it just has, it kind of instills like some extra kind of energy as far as the fairs. So just like the cap off as far as those fairs can have with like the blitziness. It really nails that appeal, I'd have to say. Break Me Down's a quality one as well as like some evening drifting to kind of get here. This reminds like Under Oath and Trap, some of those type folks around those particular times. Definitely like some alt rock kind of hazy sun dredge as far as those fairs can have. So just in the pitch of, Break Me Down is definitely pretty similar to Under Oath and Traps and those type folks. Pop Roach just within those formats, just that typical kind of just malign, a little bit less orange sky stuff, feels a little bit more red skies within pitch. Just the format is something a little bit more within the aspect of something ravenous, just and not. It feels more Raven-like as far as those fairs can happen. Definitely within the aspect of like more kind of autumn fair, just within the pitch is just something that kind of feels gothic within it. It's just an excellent type fair to get this gothicness within the tone. Definitely feels like this would be a product of a CD that probably could be picked up at Hot Topic and places like that, Spencer, some of those type places within the product as far as those fairs can happen. Definitely, it's alt rock within the get up of it, but it does have like it's alt rock within the get up of it when you think of folks like Trapped and Marcy Playground, some of those type folks, Third Eye Blind, but it's also within pitch of having like the gothic type aspect of folks like Linkin Park and Evanescence and things like that. So it's just good type bleed for that sort of particular type fair, and within the aspect within this good conduit type song with some of those good kind of conduit kind of combined type song within pitch, a good aspect of that fusion. So it's good type fair. Let Go is the third single. It's another real popular one. This is like a good post hours kind of hang out, embrace, kind of get within the aspects here. Just some initial kind of kick off sparks that I'd say within tone. Great song to toke up to, pitch like that, have some good smokage in the air, some of those type fairs and product of it. Just great, excellent kind of backyard damage as far as those aspects can happen. So just thinking like that standard commotion, listening to folks like Korn, listening to folks like Godsmack, listening to folks like Pop Roach, some of those particular type moments where you would play songs like Last Resort and like songs like Falling Away From Me by Korn and Last Resort by Pop Roach, some of these type modes, just further type modes within some of those type aspects. Just typical kind of alternative metal within the fairs, but has some excellent riffage on here. Definitely a product of like a Kickstarter within the aspects of really getting energetic within the, really getting some energy going within the pitch as far as those conducts can have. So just, definite backyard damage, I'd have to say. Lost is the fourth single. It's another quality one. It's like a glared and woozy kind of late shift slime to kind of get here. I'd say just some gas kind of post grunge enjoy. I'd say within the product of it, just kind of some hangout commotion and just good pop off type one. This would probably be a pretty good combination with Let Go. Just a little bit more haunting within the pitch behind it, but it's probably the same fare as far as just getting towards like. So Lost is definitely some vanilla kind of gothic music within the tone behind it, which is excellent type pitches within the format, full bound type viciousness. I'd say just the fair, just kind of like that post. Definitely a good post grunge kind of bleed as far as those fairs can happen. Just to miss the pitch of like definitely pretty good post grunge kind of bleed. Just the aspects of like the initial conduct, the like some hangout type fair. Just the pitch of just more basic type within the product of it. I feel like Let Go's a little bit more within a feral type sense, but it's the aspect of just having some further type noise just consisting throughout the night within some type products. So same night type of appeal, but just more of like a primer type one for some of those type aspects of things start to kick off just within the fair. So it's just some pop off, getting towards some of those type products, just some gothicness, good type appeal. Hide is the fifth single, which was also combined with Pieces, so I'm going to talk about those separately. But Hide is definitely like a dazzling kind of song. Hide is definitely like a dazzling kind of night shift traffic and trekking to kind of get here. I'd say whether on foot or by car, pitches like that, vehicle commerce, some of those type products within the aspect of it. Just some outing ponder, I definitely would say here, just during pickup, some of those particular type formats, getting some goodies or supplies, errands done, pitches like that. It's kind of some night gear up as far as those pairs can have. I would definitely look within this song, kind of within a more gas type sense, just a little bit. I do like the sparkle of this particular album in terms of like the terror that it kind of particularly has. Definitely something that feels like great for late summer and autumn type fair within the pitch, with some summer blisterings in there as well. Definitely very shrill type album with the pitch. I look within the tone as far as saying, but I look after it. This would definitely be the product of just like a crisp kind of September, some of those type moments of just getting in like some Walmart runs, taking care of, picking up like the red cups, some of those type formats of just getting like standard fares, pitches like that, just lighters and paper towels, some of those type aspects within the tone, just standard fare within the pitches to how some of those type products would kind of happen. Good type fair amongst it. Pieces is a nice one as well. This is the sixth single that was combined with High, so it's like a real talk kind of hero and sorrow. It had to feel here about it. Good pros. Definitely like some good post-grunge, kind of late day Bristol, I'd say, about this particular song. Just kind of some dope droning that it particularly has. Is very gusty. So it's just the aspect, something that Nickelback and Puddle of Mud, some of those type folks would do, Stain, some of these type folks, just within the product, just having a little bit more kind of gothic type sense about it. So it's just kind of the product of getting some of those particular type fares, so just that typical kind of pieces is just the typical kind of 2000s post-grunge type fare with folks like Seether and Nickelback, some of those type folks, like I was saying, just to miss the product of just more pieces is just some real doomed kind of droning as far as this fair is going to happen, but it's definitely an aspect of that particular fair. So just a good highlight out of some post-grunge type, definitely good highlight out of some post-grunge type conduct, just some more gothic type sense, good nails the products of that. And then already over is the seventh single as far as what's first going to happen. This reminds of like Fort Minor, I'd have to say, from like the mid 2000s pitches like that. Mike Shinoda's side hustle group as far as what's first going to happen. It's definitely like an electro drama kind of banger, I'd have to say here. So it kind of has the dramatic type fashion about it, just something within those products. When you think of songs like Petrified, some of those type moments, just some of those particular type fares off that album. It's like a good trance venue noise, I'd say here, just real softcore within the pitch, not as ferocious, but just good type product to have for some outing type fare. Good song to marinate to and sip a little bit as far as those fares happen. So just good, get a drink or two in your system. Some of those type products was just within thrill. Probably within the same type fashion places where you would catch Fort Minor back in those days within some of those type products. If you hearing some of those songs like Petrified and remember the name, some of those type pitches within the format, so it just has that particular fair extra type conduct within getting to some of that. I like the trance venue vibes about this. Probably could have used another trance venue song on here as far as those pitches kind of. Definitely would have thought that another trance venue song would have been excellent to have gotten on this album as well within that particular product of it, but some good type aspects getting to like this being the seventh single, all this particular promotion that this album has. So it's definitely within the pitch as far as saying that this album's pretty blistering within the aspect of nailing all these particular vibes about it and just having like sheer one after the other. So it has some good, definitely the gothicness, the social factor about it is real high just within the pitch as far as saying there's plenty of these, but talk about now the other 3 or 4 songs within the other 4 songs about it. So intro, End of Silence, the title track is like a nice malign kind of Dracula like hauntiness kind of get here, kind of amidst the neighborhood pitches like that. I'd say just in the fair as far as getting towards just like some standard neighborhood creeping, some stuff aspects within it. It's kind of the night prime as far as what's going to happen, just amidst the pitch of getting towards the product more in a local type sense of getting kicked off like the fair, getting crunk a little bit and having the aspects like some socialized good type products of it, just real crispness within this particular fair. Definitely like the Dracula aspects. This is like a good taste of something. This album is pretty horrific. This album's definitely pretty horrific in a good way with the tone as to how the direction and how it kind of went within the gothiness, but just some further type products to get into some of these type moments. A real thrilling type intro within the aspects of it. Definitely need a full bound song like this in more type formats with good type appeal. Gave It All Away is a nice one as well. It's like a staccato kind of outdoor festivity noise kind of get here, I'd have to say. It's pretty social. This reminds like 2000s Linkin Park, some of those type moments that they would have done with like their venue kind of rumblers pitches like that, or just the typical, just feels like Chester Bennington should show up on this song any minute within those Ferris process assets. Going to have definitely excellent type appeal within that product, just getting some excellent kind of alternative metal type vibes that this is real catchy pitches like that, and it's an overall lit type song. Yeah, so Gave It All Away is just vintage kind of 2000s alternative metal. Definitely some excellent type appeal. Good social kind of outdoor boundness. I don't know if I said it. I mean, it works for like a venue as well. Definitely within the pitch of having that particular product of places where you would hear songs like Paper Cut by Linkin Park and like One Step Closer, some of those type pitches I'd say within the fair was definitely within the product to getting towards some of those type fairs. Definitely reminds like Meteora and Hybrid Theory within some of those type pitches. Definitely some excellent type products of it. Probably more or less Minutes to Midnight as well, I'd say within some of those type fairs. Just the first 3 Linkin Park albums with the pitch where there still were more new metal bounds. Definitely with an excellence to getting some of that electro kind of thrill as far as those fairs go. But outdoor festivities definitely for some boundness. Backyard kind of carnage pitches like that are just more festivities where there's going to be more kind of where there would be beefier amounts of people as far as those fairs go. So definitely excellent type pitch. Wasting Time is a hit one as well. This goes along with Let Go pretty well, I'd have to say. Wasting Time goes along pretty well with Let Go, the single, as far as what's going to happen. It's like a backyard kind of hangout carnage, I definitely say here. Great to be a great song to get to smoking, get those fairs kind of happen within the pitch. It's definitely some products that get in hell, swishers lit, some of those type products of it, and it's like great for some long thrills. So it's a pretty long-winded type album within aspects, if you can't tell by like the number of singles off this product, but it's also within the appeal as far as saying it nails a particular vibe, but just the aspect that this is one after the other as far as the hits with like the social boundness, as far as just the product to having like some good times. So it's definitely within pitch, definitely will last a good night. Definitely more than a few songs in a row for like some good night thrills as far as those aspects going to happen with an aspect of like the backyard type carnage pitches like that and other festivities within pitch behind it. So definitely good. excellence there. And then already over part 2 is another quality one. It's like a growling kind of torment to kind of get here, I'd have to say. Vintage kind of post-grunge kind of anguish, I'd say, about this particular song. Pretty similar to like Pieces, I'd have to say, within the product of it. Just gusty. This is like some gusty kind of dark autumn dredge, I'd have to say here. So this is the product like kind of like a dark kind of ballad as far as this person's gonna have. Definite radio grab that probably could have been a single as well if they would have needed an 8th or ninth one, something like that. But this kind of pitch as far as saying definitely has the fair just radio grabs just from the aspect of something real gothic that just nails the tone of like a radio ballad that just is in a darker type sense. That's something that like Avril Lavigne and probably like say Avril Lavigne or Marilyn Manson would kind of do some of those particular type folks within the format of it. So good type pitch to get into some of that type fare. So yeah, this album gets a 10 out of 10 within pitch. Recommend all 11 songs off this album as far as these fares can happen. Social score is probably going to get I'll give the social score a 10 out of 10 as well. Definitely like the aspect of it having 7 singles. Definitely pretty big on like the rock charts pitches like that. So has some good type fare. Has crossover songs. Has some radio appeal. Good hooks. Pitches like that on here. Pretty melodic within sense. Definitely the aspect of just the dynamics about this album is real high. Just the aspect of having these moments like the backyard type festivities. Just has the same harnesses Korn, harnesses Linkin Park, harnesses Evanescence. Some of these type folks within the product as far as getting towards that particular product of it. So it's just kind of the pitch as far as saying it does it in a real gothic and kind of shrill and dark type format. So it's just the pitch as far as getting towards the aspect of something. It's a pretty good alternative to gothic folks like Marilyn Manson and Korn and some of those type folks, and pitches like that. Mushroom Head, some of those type folks within the fair. So it has the smoke type product on. This particular album has the smoke type product on here. Has the Walmart runs. Has some of these type products that amidst like the relative flip mode and the makeshift wrap up as far as those fairs can happen. Even like I said, but I mean maybe it would have been within a certain aspect. Seeing what they could have done with like a makeshift song for something for like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock p.m. pitches like that. But definitely embrace once things have kind of completed within the aspect. It definitely has the welcome mat rolled out pretty excellently. So it's just the pitch as far as saying it's just a matter of being diplomatic and having the straightforwardness that once getting to this particular album, the thrills are pretty just dynamite right within the pitch of getting towards it. So just excellent type fare. 10 socials. So in terms of future, I'm not as full bound sure what Red has been up to within the pitches. I noticed that they do have an album that came out after this one in 2009, so it's within the products first, and we'll get to some more of these. We'll get to some more of these type ones down the road as far as these first album. But yeah, definitely say this is a classic in alternative metal and I definitely say this is a classic in alternative metal out of the 2000s. Some of those type fairs definitely pretty banner in terms of the product of some of those type aspects of something out of post grunge, alternative metal, and new metal pitches like that. So definitely the product, definitely something to pick up. As like once Korn and Linkin Park and Evanescence, some of those type folks get tiresome, it's a good easy alternative kind of fuck with, and probably even throw in before those folks get tiresome as well. So definitely excellent type fare.